VetMed is not for everyone, yet it might just be the right profession for you. But taking that leap can be scary, not knowing what the right steps are, who to contact, or how to even start. So, if you're someone who's passionate about animals and is considering a career change, this video is just for you. Today, I'll be discussing how to apply to vet school in the Philippines as a second degree or transferee student. What's poppin', fam? If you're new here, my name's Roque. I'm a second degree veterinary student studying in the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and part-time content creator where I create videos about animals, vet school, and so much more. So consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so that you never miss a video. Like many of you, I've always dreamt of becoming a veterinarian. But sometimes, life takes us on unexpected detours where we find ourselves pursuing different paths. In my case, I always knew that I wanted to work with animals. But living in the big city of Makati, living far away from the UPLB campus, and having subpar grades, that dream became bleak. It was not until the pandemic hit wherein I really started asking myself what I wanted out of this life, and decided to take that leap and apply for veterinary school as a second degree student. But you clicked on this video for answers, not my life story. So if you want to learn more about my personal journey, I made an entire podcast video about it, which you can find right there. Now, you might be wondering, what does it actually mean to be a second degree student or transferee student? Well, it's quite simple. A second degree student is someone who has already completed a bachelor's degree in another field, but decides to pursue a career in veterinary medicine. Kasama ako sa category nito. On the other hand, a transferee student is someone who wants to transfer from another university to another school, either seeking better opportunities or a change in course. So now that we've differentiated the two, I'll be splitting this video into two parts: the requirements of a second degree student and the requirements of a transferee student. Gusto ko ring sabihin na these are the requirements and steps needed by my school in the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and may vary depending on which country or school you're currently planning to enroll in. Okay, so let's start with applying as a second degree. There are three major components that you'll need to accomplish. Let's call it contacting, providing, and submitting. Let's start with contacting. This is the first crucial step that you'll need to make towards applying to your school, and that involves informing your desired university about your interest in application. I know from personal experience that this is one of the scariest parts of the whole application, but it's a necessary hump that you'll need to overcome. You can start by drafting an email that explains your current situation and interest. Here's mine. Good day, my name is blank, a graduating student from the University of blank, taking the blank degree program set to graduate this June 2020. I am interested in applying as a second degree student in the undergraduate program of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine in the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. I am humbly requesting for the following steps that I must take in order to complete my application. If this information cannot be given by the receiver of this email, please refer me to someone whom I may contact that would be knowledgeable on this situation. Thank you very much for your time, and God bless. And boom, this literally took me like less than half an hour to make, but it's a crucial first step towards your application. All it takes is one focus session and a quick 5-minute Google search to get the email addresses of the official university registrar and the official college secretary of your desired university. You must inform the college of your interest of applying to that university so that they can A, acknowledge your interest, B, inform you of the deadlines, and C, hand you over the requirements. Speaking of requirements, let's go over the next step, providing. What was I saying? Alright, okay. So different universities will vary on what exact documents they need, but I think for the most part, majority of them will require the same things, which are 1. Official transcript of records or TOR, 2. Diploma or certificate of graduation/completion, 3. Accomplished university application forms, 4. Payment of application fees, 5. Recommendation letters, and 6. An essay of some sort. Let's start with the TOR. This is an official document provided by your current or previous university that has a complete record of all the courses you've taken from your first all the way to your last semester enrolled. Sa UPLB, nire-require sila ng 2 kopya ng TOR na galing sa previous university mo. So, to save you in the hassle, I recommend requesting for 3 TOR so that you won't have to go back in case one of them gets lost. Next is the diploma or certificate of graduation. If you have already graduated, congrats! You should have your diploma by now and you can easily send over a scanned copy. However, kung mag-graduate pa lang kayo, kailangan nyo ng certificate of completion or graduation. Basically, a formal document from your college that states that you have completed the course that you were enrolled in. Next, you need to accomplish the application forms and pay the application fees. This is something that you'll only really receive once they have replied to your application, and it kind of varies depending on which university you're planning to enroll in. So be patient yet persistent in waiting for a reply. Now we have the recommendation letters. These are essentially letters written by previous professors that essentially say good things about you. So recall which subjects you performed well in, which professors you built a bond with, and ask them to write a recommendation letter for you. Sa UPLB, nagre-require sila ng 3 recommendation letters. So choose wisely. And for the last requirement, we have the dreaded essay. This is easily the most challenging thing that you'll need to submit because it's essentially a 1 to 2 page document explaining who you are as a person. But at the same time, it's actually the only requirement that's really under your control. My suggestion would be to talk about what makes you, well, you. Of course, you want to input your professional credentials, but also make sure that you talk about who you are as a person, what skills you might have, and what drives you to become a vet. After all, there are countless brilliant students out there, but there's only one you. So start writing early, showcase your strengths, and have 3 of the closest people to you critique it so that you can make it the best essay you've ever wrote. Listen, I know that this is probably one of the most nerve-wracking parts of the entire process, but trust me when I say that the scariest part of it all is actually the build-up. Like the late Kobe Bryant once said, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So take a deep breath, remember that you are worthy, and shoot your shot. It never hurts to try. Just how it doesn't hurt to hit that like and subscribe button, and it literally doesn't cost you a single peso. Now let's go over the process of a transferee student. I'll be honest by saying that I can't explain the exact process since I am a second degree student, but based off what the other transferee students have told me, this is what you'll need to do. The requirements are essentially the same as a second degree student, so make sure to go back to that part of the video to learn more. However, there are some requirements that you'll need as a transferee student, and they are having an academic standing of a 3.5 GPA or 1.5 GWA from your current university, have at least 1 academic year in college, and have the transfer papers filled out and authenticated by your current university. The transferee requirements may vary depending on the country or university, but generally speaking, these are the things that you'll need to prepare. Now that you've submitted your documents, you'll be eagerly refreshing your email, looking for a response. I've been there too, but these things take time. So one thing that you can do while waiting is to prepare for the interview. You will likely be asked to do an interview with the dean of your college before getting accepted. I did mine during the heart of the pandemic, so ours was online, but it might not necessarily be the same for you. But regardless of which mode the interview is, what you can do while waiting is to look up some of the common vet school interview questions so that you can mentally prepare your answers. There are a bunch of them online and it's just a quick Google search away. But here are some of the most common questions that are asked in vet school interviews. Why do you want to be a vet? Why did you choose that specific course/university? Why are you doing this as your second degree and not your first? And how do you think you will cope with the intense studying required? These are just some of the common questions that are typically asked during vet school interviews, but if you want to see more, then make sure to do your own research. And that pretty much wraps up the steps. If I missed out on any questions or concerns, then comment down below and I'll do my best to answer it. Listen, I know that this whole process can feel so overwhelming, but if you really want to become a vet and help save animals for a living, it'll all be worth it at the end. I mean, look at me. I'm 26 years old, have a full beard going on, and already have chronic back pains. Yet, I forced myself to step out of my comfort zone, take that leap of faith, and now I only have 3 more years until I can call myself a veterinarian. And you can too, if you just take that leap. So if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, then make sure to boop that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you never miss out on any of my vet med related content. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces!